There was a rumor that was reported by Marc Stein that indicated that Morey has kind of promised Harden some long-term security for what he did this year as far as taking less this offseason. So here's the full quote of what Marc Stein had reported. Quote, there's suspicion in some corners of the league that Harden had to have consented to this arrangement because he also secured a wink-wink guarantee about the future, meaning a promise from Morey that would allow Harden to recoup what he left on the table this offseason by declining the player option for next season in his new Sixers deal, and then signing a whopper of a 5-year deal in the summer of 2023 at almost 34. So what do you think about this rumor that Marc Stein reported here? And if it's true, how would you guys feel about this deal that Morey and Harden made?
I'm not getting into these rumors and what the sources said and all this stuff. Like, I think it's going to come down to how James and the team performs. That's what I'm going by. I'm not going by what someone thinks or wink deals and all that. I think that's what it's going to go by. The deal, and I'm going to go by the deal that he has right now. So if he performs, the team performs, he'll be taken care of accordingly. And that's the only thing I'm looking at. So I understand Marc is, reporting stuff and all that. I don't have the relationships for all of that information. So, I don't think that Marc would, I know Marc, I don't think Marc would say that and just bring it out of the air. So somebody's telling him that.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know why or if it's true or how much of it, or if it's just partly true. So I'm going to just go by, what I see. I see a deal, and I think if they perform and he performs, then it'll be a deal behind that.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's more to that. Whatever it's being told to Marc Stein, I think it's more to that. Like, yeah, you get a 5-year deal if we kind of see, if there's numbers behind it. If you look better, if you look more like that old Harden that everyone wants to see, I think it's more that case than just a blanket. Oh, you take less this year, we're going to give you a 5-year deal next year. Like a blank check.
Yeah.
So that being said, though, Eric, if he did show and he was pre-hamstring Brooklyn Harden, let's say Brooklyn Harden, would you be okay signing a 4-year huge max?
I think if he completes his 2 years, I see 2 or 3 year deals. I don't see anything more than that. I just don't see it because even if he deserves it and earns it, I just don't see on the open market he'll get the years. I think he'll get the money. It's just, it was the years this year to me. If he signed a 5-year deal right now, people will be complaining. So now you're telling me 2 years out, he's going to get a 5-year deal?
Well, I think they're assuming he would opt out of his player option next year and then sign the deal next year.
Yeah, I still think.
But it is one more year. I
still think that it comes down to play. I think James will be in, and I think he's in that time of maybe if his career, as long as the Philly is still competing and he's winning, I think it's that time of his career where he's, those 2 or 3 years and maybe with opt-outs and re-sign. I don't see longer. I don't see a 5-year deal. I don't see one. But this season could change my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be very legit. It's, real smoke, there's fire, I guess. But for anyone saying it's not, I don't think so. Morey and Harden don't have a normal GM player relationship. They go way back. They have a real relationship. And I'm glad they do. I don't know if there's anything wrong with this. I know they're being, who knows what's going on in the investigations with his contracts. But
the thing that I see in this, and how when we all brought it up, the first thing that came to my mind, it was somebody was trying to find something that's maybe illegal.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, that's what I get from it more so than him having a 5-year deal. Was more of because it's already this quote unquote investigation with all the guys we signed. So I'm thinking the first thing that came to my mind was, are they trying to find something that's illegal that we shouldn't or couldn't have done?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I got from the quote from Marc Stein. Not necessarily, I didn't really think about the deal. I was thinking about, well, why are you talking about this? Like, if he's still under contract right now, what is this deal about? Because we all know as the season goes on, they're going to talk about everything James does,
Mm-hmm.
and how he's playing, and how he performs, and what he so how you feel right now about a deal? Like, you are going to try to say what he should and shouldn't get in the end anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. But I do agree with you though. I 3 years, maybe like a fourth team option to throw that in there. That seems more appropriate, even if he does look great. I mean, a 5-year deal after this, that would be, I mean, that's quite a wink. Okay. For a wink deal. So maybe I did 3 times, not 5 times, James.
I just don't if that was the case, then why wait? Because he could have got that deal now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we wouldn't have gotten to be able to get Tucker and House though.
If he started at the same rate, he can. You understand what I'm saying?
But you can only raise a certain amount of percentage every year, right? So you wouldn't get that like mega max of like 40.
But he could have signed a long-term deal.
Yeah.
Whatever he's making this year, he could have signed a 5-year deal with more than what he's making this year. Going forward.
Starting at this point and then going up every year, right? That's what you mean.
So he's 30, then that's $150 million right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So why not now then? If we're talking about next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they are trying to do like a shorter deal with just a lot more money then. Like, okay, we'll give you 3 years of like 40, starting at 40. How about that? Or 42 or something like that.
We see, as we've seen, the shorter deals and the opting out allow you to have some flexibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and if he looks like pre-hamstring.
Yeah, but I'm sure, James, if I'm giving you this flexibility, I want some assurances too. That's normal. Why would?
Yeah. And it's kind of a 1-year prove it deal that you look somewhat close to that pre-hamstring James anyway. So I don't think.
But he already showed that he was worth what he got. So
you mean this year?
Yes. I mean, other people would get deals like people got deals like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson only got a few, like 5-6 million less than he got.
So okay,
and his stats are not nearly as good as Harden's are. But yeah, I mean, with him signing that deal, the only thing it's going to do is make our luxury tax skyrocket, and that doesn't affect us. That's the owner's pocket. So they're going to have like a Golden State situation in a couple of years, especially if we end up in the future trading Tobias, getting back a bunch of like broken up contracts. We're going to be a lot of money over anyway. So at this point, it's not giving Harden 10 more million. It's not going to stop us from doing what we need to do at this point. So it's like, that's owner's money at this point. It doesn't even matter. It's not like Harden will screw us by signing a $40 million deal for 3 years. That won't do anything anymore. So it's owner's money. And if he deserves it, he deserves it. Let's just play the year out, I guess.
Got it.
Yeah, I think what Eric said. I mean, wherever Stein's getting this from, it could be people wanting to play, say there's some shady stuff going on, like a rival team saying like, look, I heard that they gave him a wink of a 5-year deal, like that's shady stuff, and like just trying to point to that to kind of highlight what's going on with the organization.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. I will say this though, Eric, you've been in these kind of negotiations with, GMs and stuff, but like, is that out of the norm for a GM to be like, hey, like, if things go well this year, we can, and next year we can, maybe think about a longer term deal, maybe not this exact this kind of a scenario, but like, that's not out of the norm for GMs to say stuff like that, right?
It doesn't happen with anyone in like James Harden. Usually it's, he comes in and this is his max and this is where he's at. And you have a starting point that you don't go below it. So this is different because he's taking less. I guess it's safe to say, even though he's taking less, he could have taken more than he got this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been based on around the league, it would have been a fair market value for him to get more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really about the player. I mean, some teams, I mean, what you're asking maybe with some younger guys, you kind of see that. Kind of play and prove it. And sometimes it comes from the player. I'll take a shorter deal. I'll take a 1-year deal because I don't like what you're offering me, and I'm going to play myself into a deal, sort of like Ayton with Phoenix.
Right.
He didn't get what he wanted, and that's what it's almost like. Rookie deals where they play for that 1-year deal to become a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
So you see it, but not very often. But you do see it. But it can come from both sides. It could be from the team, but I think more than likely, more often, it's from the player that's saying, "Hey, I'm gonna take a 1-year deal or shorter deal."
Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be trust there for sure. I mean, and I think
from a player standpoint, it's do you take a 4 or 5 year deal, say for instance, at 3 to 4 million is 20 million, and you take a 1-year deal for 4 or 5, and then you can play yourself into double what you would have taken.
Betting on yourself.
Yes. So
and I think he is doing that to a degree with this contract. He's like, I know I can be better than I was last year, and there will be no questions asked when I ask for closer to that max contract next year.
Yeah. Hopefully for everyone's sake in the Philadelphia 76ers world.
Yeah.